All right, kiddos, here is today's bell ringer. Should I have asked Grandma to meet us at Rustler's Restaurant? Should get capitalized because it's the beginning of a sentence. I is always capitalized because I is a substitute for your name. It is the only pronoun that gets capitalized in all of the English language. Grandma. Grandma here is being used as this person's name. If it had said, should I ask my grandma? Not necessarily the case, but if I call my grandma grandma, that is her name, then I can capitalize it. If not, if it just said grandmother, or if it had said my grandma, like I said, then it would have just been a generic grandma. But here, the way it's worded, should I have asked Grandma, we're referring to her by what we call her. To meet us at Rustler's Restaurant is the name of the restaurant. Number 2, my family and I went to Bangor, Maine last summer. We know that Maine is a state, so I'm assuming Bangor is going to be the city, so we need a comma between city and state. And then simply a period. My family and I went to Bangor, Maine last summer. Jaden, Willie, and Antoine bicker, fight, and argue. Here we have 3 people. They are nouns. And these 3 people are all the subject of the sentence because they're all doing something. Jaden's doing it, Willie's doing it, and Antoine's doing it. So that makes them subject nouns. And is a conjunction, always. It's one of our fanboys. Just a reminder that the fanboys are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Now, what did these 3 people do? Well, they actually did 3 things. They bicker, they fight, and they argue. So all 3 of these are actions, so they're verbs. And that action stops right there. They don't bicker about things. They don't fight with someone. They don't argue in a certain way. So all of these actions stop with the verb itself. So they are all intransitive verbs. And always a fanboy conjunction. All right, so how do we diagram this? Well, just like before, when we had 2 of something and we gave them bunk beds in our diagram, here we have 3. So really, we just need a bunk bed set of 3. So we put Jaden on the top, then Willie, and then Antoine. We would still chain all of this together like before, and then put and on the chain. Then we divide the subject from the predicate. Here we have bicker, fight, and argue. Again, 3 different things. So we're going to have 3 bunk beds all chained together. Bicker, fight, and argue. Again, we come back to the sentence, and is what goes in there on our chain. Ted Williams played for the Boston Red Sox. He earned 6 batting titles. He earned 2 Triple Crowns. Okay, he earned twice, so that's my repetition. And then I could technically make this part right here a definition. Instead of saying Ted Williams played for the Boston Red Sox, I could call him a player for the Boston Red Sox. So if I can create a definition like that, I can make an appositive phrase. I could simply say Ted Williams, and then begin my positive phrase with a comma. Who is he? He is a player for the Boston Red Sox. End of my definition, end of my positive phrase, which means I need another comma. And then what did he do? He earned 6 batting titles and 2 Triple Crowns So I could simply say earned 6 batting titles and 2 triple crowns. Now, this fanboy does not get a comma with it because 2 triple crowns is not a sentence. Remember, our fanboys, if there's a sentence on this side and a sentence on this side, then our fanboys have to have a comma. If one side is a fragment and the other side a sentence, there's no comma. And that's it for today.